What's happening, boys and girls? I am the Anthro Metal, and welcome to Today in Gaming. I hope you're having a wicked Wednesday, because that's the only word I can think of right now to describe it. But hey, it's hump day. We're here. We're halfway. We're almost there, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I apologize. I had to write everything down on a Post-it note today because I forgot my journal at work. So, quite actually a good amount of little stories coming out. Not a lot of huge game or big breaking news or anything like that. We did get confirmation. Your daily, basically your daily Overwatch news. Overwatch has confirmed, and they've shown off the new map is on the moon, is the Horizon lunar base from which Winston originated, and there's a whole slew of kind of like Easter eggs and stuff. It's actually on the PTR right now, so we'll probably see that come out officially onto the servers probably within the next month or so. Usually it takes them a little bit to work all the kinks out before it gets out to everyone else. There's still not really too much about, I think it was Hammond is his secondary. I think I said Simon yesterday, which is completely wrong. But a lot of people are starting to speculate, including myself, that the other monkey that was with that was the test subject with him that ended up being like really chaotic and everything. People are starting to speculate that might be Doomfist. So, which would be kind of different, kind of cool. So just be on the lookout for it. With the leak that we got like earlier this month about what his moveset would be, what Doomfist's moveset would be, it kind of speaks to a much more agile character, much more fast-paced, a la Tracer. So much more like fast-paced attack character, which is, like the complete opposite of what, the tank like Winston is. So we'll look for more information about that coming out hopefully soon. We really haven't got much. We're supposed to see some according to that leak around the anniversary event, but there's been nothing as of yet. So we'll probably see more around E3, if it's according to be believed, like Terry Crews to be believed, and other stuff like that. Speaking of Overwatch, another thing is with the new map coming out, there have been 3 big changes to current characters. McCree is getting an overhaul with his Deadeye skill. His ult will now do more damage within the first second of triggering it, so a lot more times when you hear it's high noon, you'll be actually have to run really quickly, because if you don't, you'll probably get dead. Because instead of having to wait for it to charge up and everything, getting your super interrupted and then completely canceled, now you'll be able to actually be able to use it now, being McCree. And instead of having to flank around and just wait until you're able to get your perfect shots off. So the next one is Roadhog. His head hitbox is getting reduced to increase his survivability, because if they felt like because he's a tank he's not being able to survive so much. Playing Roadhog, I can confirm that he's tough, because especially if somebody has really good aim, you can get owned by even a Tracer. So last thing is that Reaper, his passive skill, which is called, I think it's the Reapening or something like that, and it's something silly. He would steal souls from whoever he killed or whoever he defeated or whatever, eliminated, and that would help him regain health. But now it converts something like 20% of all damage he does into health for everyone else, including himself, which is pretty cool. It actually is a beneficial team skill, and Reaper really isn't that great of a character to use, because he's pretty hard, because a lot of people can just melt through him really fast. So it's nice to see that they're kind of taking that on and trying to make him better, making him a more beneficial team member, so we can see him with a lot more use in the future. One of the bigger stories I have today is that Take-Two Interactive, the parent company behind 2K Games and the Rockstar, not the Rockstar, but Rockstar Games, have acquired a Kerbal Space Program, which is the little kind of cutesy space simulator game where you build a rocket and go to space and usually kill all your they look like lemmings on it. That's what it really reminds me. But the Kerbals to get there, I think that's what they're called. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me, please. And yeah, they acquired them. We don't really know what that's going to look like. I think the game is still in beta or alpha at this point on both Steam and then PlayStation and Xbox One. So we should see more about that coming out probably in the next few months. I expect them to really kind of hash it out. They're going to get a lot more money now being behind a major publisher like Take-Two. So we'll kind of exciting time for that, especially being a small company like that and then just being able to hit it big. Man, that's got to be a dream come true for those guys. So I'm all kudos to them. I'm really happy for them for that to happen. So moving on. So remember yesterday we talked about Sony canceling PS3s in Japan? Well, turns out they're actually canceling it everywhere. production is stopping. So the PS3 is pretty much officially dead, which is crazy. It's crazy to think about that, because that console has been around since 2006. So 11 years of a PS3. And I mean, it's getting to be that time in a console's lifespan. I mean, both PS4 and the Xbox One are both 3 years old at this point, and this is about the time frame that we see the older consoles starting to die off. Although it took a very long time for the PS2 to die off. It took 7 years, because it lasted until 2013 for that production to end. So, I mean, rest in peace, PS3. You were great. So, hug your PS3 tightly, pet it a little bit, give it a kiss or something. I don't know. It's just it's we're moving on ahead. We're full bore into what are we in, the 8th generation of games now of consoles? Probably further along than that. I'm kind of tired. I'm sorry. Moving on. So, kind of a crazy story coming out today that I believe it's an Amazon CEO or an Amazon executive has pledged $50,000 of his own dollars, of his own savings, to be used on a Twitch stream called Stock Stream, where you can actually go there. It's kind of like the Twitch plays Pokemon, except for really big time real world implications. You're actually using his money to buy and sell stocks. You can go in there and chat like, hey, buy this stock, hey, sell this stock. Every 5 minutes, whatever action gets the most upvotes will actually be put into a queue to get, and then you can actually get points and stuff. It's just a crazy social experiment. I highly advise you to check it out. It's twitch.tv/stockstream. It's super entertaining, if anything. So just go check it out, and we'll see what happens from it. All right, we're almost done here. So Agents of Mayhem, which is the next game from Volition, the Saints Row developer. It is a weird hero shooter that is like you build a team of 3 people, and then they're all different heroes, but not heroes, because they're like it's almost like a Suicide Squad kind of motley crew, of people, and they all have different abilities and stuff, but you can like swap between them on the fly. So it kind of brings that like GTA 5 kind of feel to it. When you're in a mission or whatever, you can swap between these characters and use them and stuff. They got another trailer. It's kind of been flying under the radar, really. We haven't heard a lot about this game, but it's weird. Of course, coming from the guys that made Saints Row, it's appropriately insane and chaotic and stuff. So just check it out and tell me what you think about it. Another thing is that Ubisoft has changed their logo for the first time in 14 years. They have gone away from the like blue and white swirl. Now I believe it's just black and white. It's not honestly too much of a change, but it's kind of cool. We don't see game companies change their logos all too often, although their 80s theme one is still the best in my heart and the hearts of everyone else. So, last but not least, the PS Plus games, the free games that are going to be coming out for June got leaked. Most notably, the biggest 2 on there are the Killing Floor 2, which is kind of like I hesitate to say like zombie-esque, but it is very zombie-esque, buying upgrades, buying traps and stuff like that. And then Life is Strange is coming out, and Life is Strange is fantastic. It is a episodic series, a la like Telltale, except it was made by Square Enix. And you actually, there's a lot of other twists that come along with it, and it's really, really good. I still have only played the first episode, but I really want to get into it and really play the rest of it. I just haven't had the time to recently, but excuses aside, it's definitely something you should pick up and definitely something you should play. So, one more correction is that I said E3 is next week. It is not next week, although I want it to be. It is actually in 2 weeks is when it kicks off on Sunday, July 11th, June 11th. Wow, I need sleep or something. I need food. Anyways, so it is on June 11th, and it's going to be run that whole week. So definitely look out for a lot more stuff on that at that point. And yeah, Twitch is going to do its full streaming on that. I highly anticipate, multiple other places to follow suit. Of course, all the major news and networks and everyone else is going to be doing their own shows on it. The hype is building up so much, and just take it all in. Just take it all in. Anyways, is there any story I missed? Do you think I should have covered anything else? Did you like this video? Did you not like it? If you didn't like it, tell me why you didn't like it. It'd be great to know your opinion. And just tell me if you're excited about any of this stuff or if any of this really even matters. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and stop this right here. It's been a pleasure. Again, I'm the Anthony. This was Today in Gaming. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow.